All right. It's your host, David Washington. It is the David Washington Show, broadcasting from Central Florida, Orlando to be exact. And guess what? Of course, this is all about politics. And I'm going to talk politics and specifically about Orlando city politics. We just had a special election yesterday, May the 21st, Tuesday, 2024. And this is my perspective. This is my analysis. And I'm going to just tell you straightforward it was disappointing. Orlandians failed to impress again. And why do I say that? Boy, why do I say that? For several reasons. But the main reason that I want to discuss is right here. I just pulled up an article from the Orlando Sentinel about the District 5 special election to replace City Commissioner Regina Hill. And what the article is saying is that, hey, the election will continue for another month. I believe the general election or the runoff election will be June 18th. So, because no one received 50% of the vote, and we had 7 people run. And the headline is Rose McCurdy advanced to District 5 runoff vote, 7 candidate field. 10% turnout lead to narrow margins. Okay, that's a really fucked up headline there. But in essence, Shan Rose, and former Representative Travis McCurdy received approximately 25% of the vote each, and they now advance to the District 5 runoff election in June. The disappointing part, and this is what hurts me the most, the disappointing part is that 10% of the turnout of this approximately 21,000 eligible Orlandians in District 5, 10% actually turned out. 2,123 ballots, 2123, were cast, representing 10% of the voters. How many times can I sound like Dr. Umar? How many times can I say this? How many different ways? I am sorry, not sorry. This is so frustrating. In Orlando, you failed to impress. We are in what people are saying the most important election cycle of our lifetimes. And seeing that District 5 is a highly democratic district here in the city of Orlando, and the Democrats were only able to turn out 10% of the vote, over 21,000 voters were eligible, and only 2,000 of you, 2,100 of you showed up. And I understand why there are efforts to limit voting to election day by some parts of our political discourse. If y'all ain't going to vote when there are so many different opportunities to make it easier to vote, convenient to vote, early voting, vote by mail. Why even have those opportunities? Bring it back to just one day. My thoughts are all over the place on this. Congratulations to Shan Rose. Congratulations to Representative McCurdy. both are candidates to one level or another, um, candidates who are supported by City Hall. Representative McCurry by far has the um, quiet support of the mayor of Orlando, Buddy Dyer. His political apparatus is very much involved in Representative McCurry's campaign. Shannon Rose has support from some of the alternative political elite, not necessarily politicians, but say the Orlando Signal endorse her. More of a grassroots candidate. She did much better. She did much better by a few percentage points. I guess you could call it that. Than her performance versus when she ran against Commissioner Regina Hill. As a matter of fact, I think she got about maybe 700 votes there. In this election, I think she maybe got maybe 500 votes for her. So something happened there. I don't know. I don't know. However, um, Shannon Rose pulled in 24.8% of the vote. McCurdy getting 23.3. Former Miss America, as she will always be known as, was third. Erica Dunlap with 21.6% of the ballots going to her. And then Luana Gales, a perennial candidate, came in fourth with about 19% of the vote. This was pretty much a 16-week campaign. I've done campaigns in 17 days, had far better results than this. However, from what I understand, Shannon Rose was able to expand the electorate, moving into areas of Metro West and talking to candidates where you typically, in past elections, there wasn't that much penetration. She allegedly spent about $17,000 on the race so far. She's going to need a hell of a lot more money between now and election day in June. And Mr. McCurdy spent about $31,000, so he spent a lot more per vote than she did. You know, this is going to come down to turnout again, and this is going to come down to which voters are going to be targeted and how they're targeted and when they're targeted by each candidate. Again, both have some sort of support from the political elite. Representative McCurry more so than Shan, having the quiet support of the mayor's office or Mayor Buddy Dyer. But again, this just doesn't sit right with me. Of all the conversation about how important elections are and what matters to most people. And although this particular election creates a placeholder until Commissioner Regina Hill returns to her seat if she is exonerated, or two, the next election. The next election is in 2025, so that's just around the corner. And so the person who is elected here in June will have a slight advantage because they will be in that placeholder position. They will be the commissioner and have an opportunity to act accordingly. I'm just hoping that whoever is the commissioner has some sort of independence from the political elite at City Hall and that they exercise that independence from City Hall. Again, I see this as a placeholder situation. I think Commissioner Hill, based on the evidence that I've seen, which is publicly available to everyone, she has a chance to have her seat back, exonerated from the allegations that have been made against her. But again, City of Orlando elections are determined by a very, very small few individuals. And we're talking about less than 20%, less than 18%, less than 13%, less than 10%. And city government deserves better. Residents of District 5 deserve better. But you cannot demand better if you don't participate, if you do not exercise your civil engagement responsibilities. And that's something that's really important to us, to me, that government, media, candidates inform the public, make every effort possible to inform the public of special elections like this one, to inform the public of elections in general. We need to bring back civil engagement, civil education, civics in our schools. We'll continue to have turnout like this. And those privileges, those rights that we talk about so much and enjoy so much, the ability to vote early, to vote by mail, eventually they'll be taken away. Just saying. Orlando, you could do better. District 5, I hope you get the representation that you deserve. Hopefully turnout in June will be much better. For those candidates who didn't make it this time, maybe you can encourage your voters and your supporters to get out the vote for the June runoff election. As a side note, unfortunately, this special election may have put the final nail in the coffins of several candidates who have run again for public office. It's probably time to hang it up and contribute differently in the community. For those new voices who ran, continue to be involved in your communities, continue to seek to represent your communities. We need some fresh blood, some new voices. I'm all for that. So again, this is David Washington. This is my 2 cents worth, my perspective. Orlando, you could do a hell of a lot better. You got it in you. You really do. So, hey, thank you. This is the David Washington Show. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff, you know? Especially comment. We really want to hear what you have to say, especially me, because I love commenting to your comments. I love, replying. I love having that discourse between you and I so that we can further the conversation, give me some great ideas. I want to know what you think will make for an excellent topic to talk about, whether it's here on the David Washington Show or our other podcasts, The Morning Constitution, Countertop Politics, and of course our flagship podcast, You Can't Make This Shit Up. So again, please comment, let everyone you know about the David Washington Show, about the J.N. Washington Network. We really would love to grow our community, Ubuntu, and we love bringing that content to you. Tomorrow is Content Creation Thursday, # Content Creation Thursday. We'll see you the next time. We're out of here. How you like the new music? You dig it? I dig it. I like it. Okay.